Hi, I'm Rebecca, Bodycraft Massage Therapy. We're going to be going over diaphragmatic breathing 101, which we like to affectionately call it here in the clinic. How to do basic diaphragmatic breathing. And it's a great tool, if you've watched our other video, that you can see that you can take with you pretty much anywhere, practice almost anywhere, and it's really easy to incorporate into your day-to-day life. So if you have questions about what the diaphragm is, where is it in the body, and why might you want to do this, refer back to that other video. All right, so let's start first with how you're going to set yourself up. So you can do diaphragmatic breathing standing, seated, lying down. It really is dependent on what your preference is and what is most comfortable for your body. For today, I'm going to do this standing. If I were lying down though, I would ideally be lying horizontal or at a slight incline. I do like to do it with my knees bent. So if I'm on a bed, my knees are going to be bent, my feet are going to be on the bed, or I'll have a pillow or some kind of bolster under the knees to help soften the hip crease and soften the abdomen as well. If you're seated, you want to make sure that the chair you're sitting on is nice and stable. If you're in a rolly chair, depends on how comfortable you are in that rolly chair. I like to perch forward on the front of the edge of the chair so that I can really be sure that my alignment is nice and vertical. If you're in a rolly chair, you want to do that with some caution, right? Be careful. If you're standing, we're going to have nice vertical alignment just like we would seated, okay? So let's start with a check-in. I am a fan of doing basic assessment, try something. So in this case, we'll try some breathing and then we'll reassess at the end and see if we feel any different. All right. So the first thing is you can do this with your eyes open or closed. You're just going to take a very quick 2 or 3 second body scan. And really the point of this is just so that you can find what areas might be uncomfortable, what areas are kind of calling your attention, and that we'll use to see if it feels a little different afterwards. So your hands can be on your belly, they can be wherever they need to be. You can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. I like to do it with my eyes closed. But let's take 3 seconds and just quick scan from head to toe. What is calling out to you? There you go. All right, 3 seconds goes pretty fast. Were there areas that really you were like, oh, this is uncomfortable, I'd like to work on that? Common areas are the upper shoulders, perhaps the jaw. People with anxiety often talk about their stomach feels a little knotted, right? It could be a post-surgical area, could be post-workout, something feels tired, perhaps a little sore, anything like that. The next thing that we're going to do together is check out where our breathing is inclined to go. So many of us breathe high and shallow. Sorry if I'm hitting that microphone. High and shallow in the chest, which is great for getting air in quickly, but not really the depth of breath usage that we want. So one hand to your sternum or your breastbone, one hand to the abdomen, your belly. And let's just take a couple of breaths, your regular breath rhythm, regular tempo, and see, without forcing it, which hand experiences more movement underneath it. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 breaths and I invite you to do the same. You may be able to even see on the video which of my hands is moving more. And we're just noting this without judgment, just getting information. That's all we're doing, is gathering information. All right. Which hand did you notice was moving more? We'll check it again at the end. Again, it's not to put a negative connotation on one hand is moving and the other is not. It's just our starting point. Now we're going to bring our hands down to our abdomen. Make sure if you're seated or standing, you have a nice vertical alignment. If you're lying down, make sure that you're not crunched in a really squishy, soft bed. Ideally, you'd have your vertical alignment just horizontal. All right. So now, if we have a tendency to breathe up into our sternum, our upper lungs, we're going to think about pouring air down into our lower lungs. If you've ever watched a baby or a kitten or a puppy breathe, you'll notice how easy and elastic their belly seems to be when they're breathing. That's what we're aiming for. So you're going to feel your belly move forward and then back towards the back of you. What we're not going to do is actively push the abdomen out and, hope that it finds its way back in, right? We're going to breathe in through our nose and then take a forced exhalation through the mouth through pursed lips. Shh. So breath goes in through the nose and then out through pursed lips. Shh. When you breathe out, you're going to feel the abdominal wall contract, or you can help it contract by drawing that navel in and up at the same time. So let's take a couple breaths, hands on the belly, shoulders relaxed. Your shoulders don't need to help with your breathing at this point. And as you breathe in with me, you're going to feel your belly naturally distend forward without forcing it. Breath comes in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do 2 more. Breath in, belly relaxes. Breath out. And I'm going to turn sideways. Let's do 2 more so you'll see how far my belly moves. Breath goes in. Breath comes out. You don't have to move your hand to the back. It's just so you can see. 1 more time. Breath in. And breath out. All right. So that's your basic diaphragmatic breathing, but let's take it up 1 more step. We're not going to go into box breathing or any of the next more advanced steps, but we're going to take it just up to like 101.2. So you're going to take your full belly breath in, that diaphragmatic breath in, and then you're going to pause and ride the fullness, right? So you're just going to hang out there as full as you can with air. Then you're going to exhale, and then you're going to ride that full depletion where you have no air. And if you find that your breath pattern is a little slower than mine, great. Go at your tempo. If you find it's a little faster than mine, also great. Go at your own tempo. If, however, you find that you're starting to get a little lightheaded, I want you to pause, return to your normal breath pattern, because it really just means you're getting a huge influx of oxygen and it's a little much for your system all at once. So I want you to wait and rejoin us once that lightheadedness has passed. So, vertical posture if we're seated or standing. Shoulders are relaxed regardless whatever position you're in. And here we go. Breath in through the nose. Pause at the fullness. Exhalation through the lips. And pause at the depth of the exhalation. Breath in. Pause. Ride that fullness. Breath out. Pause at the empty. 2 more times. Breath in. Pause. Check your shoulders are easy. Breath out. Pause. 1 more time. Breath in. Pause. And breath out. Pause. Return to your normal breath pattern. 1 hand on the sternum, 1 hand on the belly, eyes open or closed. And check now, when you're taking your regular breath, which hand moves more, the upper hand or the lower hand? Just 2 or 3 breaths. And you may notice the tempo is a little slower, maybe a little more luxurious, hopefully. Let's take 2 more breaths. One more breath, just your regular timing. All right, now eyes open or eyes closed, choice is yours. You're going to check back in with a very fast body scan. Eyes again can be closed, and see if what called your name before, what was on your radar as being uncomfortable or needing attention, is it still needing attention? Has it shifted? Is the quality or intensity of it shifted, or is it resolved and now there's something else that was waiting in line for your attention? Or do you just feel pretty relaxed all the way around? Any and all, there are no right or wrong answers. It's just gathering information. So let's take 3 seconds. All right. Hopefully you feel a little bit of a shift, perhaps a little calmer, perhaps your breath rhythm is just a little more relaxed, a little slower in tempo. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can do so through our website, which is bodycraftmassage.info. Again, bodycraftmassage.info, and you can always email us at contact@bodycraftmassage.info. Again, contact@bodycraftmassage.info. Thank you for joining me.